Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And they'll begin here with a run by Brown.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings.
They were quite formidable in the win over the Eagles a week ago.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass. You know, no-fly zones and things of that nature. This group had a bunch of them in last week's game.
Here's Burrow. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defender's minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
This is fielded at the 27. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. They run for the first time with Ty Chandler.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 41, here's 2nd and 5. Now a handoff to Chandler. And he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Now Darnold. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And 3rd and 8 now.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold.
He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Another run for Brown on second down. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings.
They were quite formidable in the win over the Eagles a week ago.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? Now it's Burrow. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That certainly looks like nothing to show now from these first 2 possessions. And guess what? When you're on a losing streak, that can lead to a full sense of, here we go again. So on the sidelines, the offensive play callers, quarterback, they've got to get together and dial something up to start their next drive. Otherwise, it could be a long game.
And he'll take a shot at the end of that one, and they'll begin right there.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run. This is Jordan Mason. Now he's loose down the left sideline. He may go. And he will step out of bounds down near the 10-yard line.
A big play there for Minnesota. Give him 58 yards on the ground. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
Now Chandler.
And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
They run it with Chandler.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
But now he appears to be in some pain. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on 3rd and goal. They run it with Mason. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Jordan Mason, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Vikings get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was. And when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. From the shotgun, it's Burrow.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
An inside give, Brown. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
This defense for the Vikings, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown.
And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Play action. It's Burrow. Rolling to his right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Jamar Chase
with touchdown number 7 on the year.
And the Bengals are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Seven, our score after 1. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. To throw is Darnold. And that is incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. And their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
From the gun, a give to Brown. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Got a man, it's Brown. And out of bounds right around the 20. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. Burrow will throw. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Vikings are going to have it here just past the 25.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Darnold now to throw. To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Battle. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 for a Bengals TD. But Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick-6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And this will be a Vikings first down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line. The Vikings at 4-5, a game under 500. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. They give him a gain of 37.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
A play fake, and it's Darnold. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. A dump off for Mason. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
And this offense on third down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Darnold. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. B.J. Hill, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. This is a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one is right through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Bengals drive about to get going. And a close game like this, Charles, those interceptions like they had on the last drive could be costly. But here they've got another opportunity to seize control of this game.
And they'd better take advantage of it, because otherwise, if they end up losing by 1 score, they'll relive this over and over and over until they have another opportunity.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Down the left sideline.
Well, those have been a problem for them all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football, or you're going to cost your team chances.
After the interception, here's Darnold. He's got Mason complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, hit him with the football, and they picked up the first down. Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Completes it to the fullback hand. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Straight ahead, here's Mason. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Here's Darnold. Escaping the pressure right. Escapes the sack. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late. They're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
The slot man in motion right. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Kevontae Turpin as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Now the extra point try forthcoming. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Jones breaking from the contact. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Flushed out right. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Now Burrow. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. It's caught inside the 25. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A 2-play drive.
What do we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Shut my stop and still stay tall.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
On the give, it's Mason. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 30-yard line. 95 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that would look like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
They'll roll him out right.
Throw to the right, hauled in by Addison.
A lot of effort there for just a 3-yard gain, and now second down.
To the right goes Mason.
And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. 31 yards on the punt there.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
Now it's Burrow. Open man downfield is Chase. He's got it.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A gain there of 21 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5.
Burrow looking to pass. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Out of the gun, it's Burrow.
Looking deep here for Chase.
This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Jamar Chase
with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season.
And the Bengals add 6 to their lead. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
The kicking team out now for the Bengals as they'll send this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On the ground again, it's Mason. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
Back to throw, Darnold. Pass complete to Addison. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
That to the sideline and incomplete. Boy, they're going to say there's a receiver in the area. That was close to grounding, but it's 2nd down. Darnold. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Mason. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. It was Miles Murphy who fired in and got him to the ground.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Running left, Mason. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 126 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage. But every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled him with the inside run.
That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. Now it's Darnold. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Vikings are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. And he just did get those feet in there on the side of the end zone. Well done. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Point after, right down the middle, and that makes it a 28-24 game.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
Well, after watching him ring the bell that many times and putting the ball in the end zone, throwing it, he had to figure they had to bring some type of pressure. They had to change things up on defense.
And able to get to him, put him on the ground, so maybe just something to throw him off a little bit.
Yeah, that had to feel a lot better for the defensive guys. They've been getting carved up in this one. To finally knock him on the ground and force an incompletion, that's got to be a sigh of relief.
Room here to run. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff to Brown here.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 59 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
They go right back to the ground here, and Brown will get forward for 3 down the 16-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Here's Burrow. This is caught. Touchdown! Mike Gesicki, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Bengals look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter.
Extra point right down the middle, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The kicking team out now for the Bengals as they'll send this one away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. He's past the 30. He might score. He will score. Touchdown, Minnesota. And that big fourth quarter return, Charles, makes this a one-score game.
And now it all comes down to philosophy. All right, they just had a big return for a touchdown, so the momentum is high. Do you want to ride that and go for 2? Or do you just go ahead and kick the extra point and come back and rely on your defense?
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
The Vikings will line up for the 2-point conversion.
They're going to throw for the 2 with Darnold. And this is caught. They got it. And that could be an important 2 points. It gets them back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet and said, go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Their own 28-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
Second and 10. They'll send the tight end in motion. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. That is incomplete.
Oh, that's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up. Converged on his man and broke the play up.
Now, the Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And it's incomplete. Broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field. Now a give, left side, Brown with it. And he'll work this one out to about the 38. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And the defense on him quickly there as they stop him at the 40 for a gain of just 2. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Now it's Burrow. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 17 at a Cincinnati 1st down.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
So with your team leading in the 4th quarter, you know you've got to run the football. They know you've got to run the football. Sometimes that means there's nowhere to run the football.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Mekhi Blackman's got it. So a big return there, Charles, on what was a pretty dangerous throw to the outside.
It sure was, Brandon. That's the risk you run on a throw like this. If it's intercepted, a lot of times this is a pick 6. So good hustle to get back and get him down. But, boy, that's a throw you've really got to be sure of if you're going to work the perimeter of the field.
Mason going to get it on 1st down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Off of play action, Darnold. Throw left side complete. That's Mason. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Jordan Mason. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Vikings have taken a fourth-quarter lead. A late turnover is so often the difference in a ball game, and here the turnover leads to the go-ahead touchdown.
So repeat after me, partner. You have to take care of the football. In order to protect the lead, you must take care of the football. Ball security. How many times do they have to say it? They've been preaching it since day one of camp, and it came back to bite them right there.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Jones breaking from the contact. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. But the bad news for them, they've seen that cushion they once had totally evaporate, and they're working from behind. The good news, they now have the opportunity to regain the lead right back. He can't get him down, and they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. That's the reason why. Well, we just saw shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up drive.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
Back to throw here. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Throwing, Burrow. And that's complete to Brown. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
Here's 1st down.
Here we go. 11.
Burrow.
Eluding the pressure right. This will be caught once again by Brown. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
To throw, Burrow. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that, because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Now Darnold going to take it and just bat this one forward to his wideout. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
A dump off for Mason. And he will have a Viking first down, and that should be the one that gets him to the finish line. 10 yards is the pickup there, and that should just about put a bow on this one. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football, so now you lose your